All right, so today on Eat Like a Local, we are talking fried chicken. What is more comforting than a big plate of fried chicken? And we're going to go to Frenchy's, we're going to go to Lucha, and then the OG barbecue and biscuits, all the sides, French fries, gravy. Yes! Today, Eat Like a Local, I am so excited for this. We get to talk to the folks at Frenchy's Fried Chicken, one of the founders. 55 years they've been here on Scott Street doing fried chicken and not changing really at all. It's really amazing. We're lucky to be able to do this store today. So let's go talk. Eat fried chicken too. So Ms. Cruzel, thank you so much for sitting with me. I feel like I'm just interviewing and sitting with royalty right now because what you and your family have started in our great city is absolutely fantastic. Where did you grow up at?
In Halifax County, Virginia, and I lived there until I was away at school, in college, being a home economics major. And then after that, I went to work as a teacher and worked there 1 year, got married, and then came to Louisiana.
What part of Louisiana?
New Orleans.
New Orleans? Okay.
That's where my husband was from.
How long did you spend time in New Orleans?
Until 1966.
And is that how you kind of developed this style of food? Was your husband, like, you were a teacher, your husband a restaurant guy?
No.
No?
An imaginative guy.
I like that.
And he didn't like eating here because the food was not quite the way he was accustomed. And so he wanted things as he had had them. And so with that, he started a restaurant.
A lot of work.
Oh, that was some work. But we made it work, and he liked the restaurant business. He was crazy about that, and the number of people that he would see, because he was a guy who really liked people.
Basically, there wasn't the food that he wanted to eat, so he just created it.
Correct.
Okay.
Saying that he was going to make po' boy sandwiches and with roast beef and various kinds of things like that. And a friend of his told him, man, cut that out. Folks like chicken.
It's not wrong.
And this guy who was telling him that could also do a little cooking. So he fried the chicken for him.
Okay.
And had the customers to sample. And so it became a hit. And that's how we got into fried chicken.
When did you decide to quit doing po' boys?
Oh, immediately when he found out how much the chicken was doing.
So this is the original box.
That's right.
And it basically has the menu on top.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I think is so amazing is that the food tastes now when you open that box the same as it did when you open this box. I can't believe I'm touching that. So this should be in a museum. But it's good to see where it started to where it's gone now.
That's right.
But the values of the food and service and people have not changed.
Well, we worked hard at that.
And that happened just right down the street, right?
Yeah.
The original location down on Scott?
That's correct. Then we taught the children. So when they had time,
So yeah, because it was you and your
then
husband.
they began to do it.
And then your kids came.
But we always had enough crew. Today, we have one person back there who's been here 40 years.
40 years?
Yes. Another one, 39.
That's amazing. And that's a level of consistency that all restaurants want to have. Very few do. What's your favorite thing to order here?
I can't ever get over eating chicken wings. I've got to have a chicken wing.
So good.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get a chicken wing here in a few minutes.
Okay.
I'm about as excited as it can
Okay.
get.
All right.
Well, thank you, Miss Sally. Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
thank you for coming.
Oh, come on.
Chicken.
Ernest. King?
Yep.
I love a good name. Good nickname, too. It's always great. In the past few years, moved into this location.
Right.
And really kind of thought about it when you were building this out to streamline it, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we did was to make the service a lot quicker with customers coming either in the restaurant or the drive-through. So that was our thrust and our focus, was to get people in and out.
So the thing here, the connection that you're gonna have at this restaurant, generally it's gonna be the fried chicken, right? That's what you ate 20 years ago with your grandmother leaving church. It's the chicken, it's the sides, it's the desserts. So we really wanted to focus in on what are the core items that people have an emotional reaction to? What are the core items that really sort of weaves Frenchy's into the fabric of Houston? And let's focus on those. Let's focus on high quality, how quickly we serve the customer, and just make sure that we are focusing on the food that people actually love and have that emotional connection to.
Because you guys can get it done fast. Like, you guys, I mean, I just walked over there and they're just, and within a matter of like 15 minutes, the lines are done, everybody's eating.
We're always clear that what we're not skimping on is the quality of the food. No. So everything you eat here at Frenchy's, this is home cooking. You know, these collard greens came in as collard greens, and then we cut them by hand. The sweet potatoes that we use for these sweet potato pies came in as sweet potatoes, and we created this magical item, sweet potato pie. What we've just focused on is making sure that we can move it very quickly once you hit the restaurant.
The Frenchy's is still here on Scott Street.
Yes.
This is the only one that's family owned.
Correct.
And then there is 11 more? 12 more?
There are 10 more, and there are 2 more on the way, yes.
10 more, so 12 more franchises.
For instance, this lemon cake. So the same person that's been making this lemon cake the last 35 years still makes them today, Miss Ruby. So she made this lemon cake. She also made the lemon cake. If you go to one of the franchise locations, it's the same food. So we have some great food items, some great family recipes. And we want as many people to eat that food as possible.
I mean, even if you call it fast food, the thought process behind it is not fast.
No.
Because I know what it takes to clean 50 cases of collard greens.
Yes.
It ain't fast. Live in the South or have been to the South, right? You understand collard greens, red beans and rice, dirty rice, fried chicken. But you guys have a perfect seasoning. The texture's always right. Those chicken wings are perfect, right? Everything about it is a connection, right? Because you have a preconceived notion of what this is going to be if you haven't been here. And then when you walk in, you're like, I didn't expect to see this.
You mentioned seasoning.
You make that too.
Of course we do. That's our blend. But I tell you a little bit about the seasoning. So I was a naval officer, spent time in naval intelligence, top secret clearance, and I can tell you there is no better guarded secret than our breading recipe. Nothing. There isn't one. When I walk in and I smell the fried chicken, I can see my grandmother with a cast iron skillet frying chicken. That's my emotional reaction.
I feel that fried chicken should have an emotional connection to it, and that when you eat it, it should be special. I walked up and saw it while during lunch, and they're just trays and trays, and they're just boom, 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 and it's super fresh, it's super fast, it's super crispy, it's delicious. Like, that's what you want, right?
And the other thing, it's better.
Yeah, it is better. It's better. I didn't think I needed to say that. You're right.
Well, I'm going to remind.
Frenchy's, red beans and rice, dirty rice, collard greens, the king box, fried chicken, boudin egg rolls with gris sauce, which is kind of a spicy Creole mustard. But this, like, who doesn't want an egg roll? Especially, it's got pepper jack boudin in it. You gotta be kidding me. You can come for the fried chicken, but if you don't get the boudin egg rolls, you're really missing out. But when we talk about the fried chicken breading be basically like a state secret, look at that. That is perfect. You see the seasoning blend, you see the crispy, then you get in here, that little nub, just perfect. The salt levels, the spice levels, everything about it is really fantastic. All right, I could do that all day, but then we get down to the wing, it's just perfect. So if you get good at this game, you just do that, and then have that. Professional chicken wing eater. And I can see why since 1969, how many memories that this place has invoked for people. It tastes like your grandmother's table. You shouldn't just be able to drive through and pick up a sandwich and consider that really fried chicken. This is fried chicken. 55 years. There's a reason. See you at Frenchy's. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Frenchy's what to order. The Boudin egg rolls are very, very special. The King's Choice, which is 3 wings, 2 pieces of dark meat. Fried shrimp, if you're in that mood, go for it. When it comes to sides, dirty rice, red beans and rice, collard greens. Do not forget to get dessert. Get that sweet potato pie. Let's head over to La Lucha. Let's talk fried chicken, yeah? La Lucha, oysters and chicken dinners, right off of Shepherd and 18th. This is an experience that you have to have. It's the whole thought process behind Texas cuisine, from burgers to oysters to the technique of fried chicken. It invokes memories, it invokes happiness. Let's go check this out.
It says oysters and chicken dinners on the wall, so I figured we'd have some oysters.
Bobby Matos, culinary director for
Little Ray, our newest, La Lucha here, Super Rica, and State of Grace.
Why oysters and fried chicken?
I think they somehow magically really go together. You can date it back. Our owner, Ford Fry, grew up in the city and has memories of the San Jacinto Inn. That's what kind of this whole place is based on. San Jacinto Inn, which you know well, it's called
Monument
Inn now. But the whole idea was it was this family-style communal dining. Started with oysters and always ended with fried chicken.
It's a pretty special place.
Yeah, thank you.
You've done a fantastic job with this menu.
Yeah, it's kind of evolved over the years, really focused on Texas Gulf, and some of that goes all the way down to Mexico. Some of the food that we'll pull in, there's definitely some Mexican influences now. Ay caliente.
Ay caliente.
Cheers. We sell oysters, fried chicken, and cheeseburgers. I think are our top 3.
Because I think when I think about coming here, we always get these.
Yeah.
It's the standards, right?
Right.
Murder Point and
Isla Dauphine.
So both Alabama.
Both Alabama.
Those set of oysters have changed what Gulf oyster production can look like.
Yeah, well, I think Murder Point definitely led the way. So this is we take our pickle brine and make a mignonette with that instead of throwing all the brine away after we use the pickles.
That's very smart.
Wanna try it?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's such a great use for that too.
Right? Yeah, why throw away all that vinegar?
Yeah, because the mignonette is just
Vinegar, shallots, and pepper. So,
but now I get to taste all this. This has been open 5 years, and you have taken this from kind of that East Texas, brought it back into more all Texas. Where do you see the refinement where you're going with it? I mean, do you feel like this is where you really love it and this is where you want it to be? Come on, man.
I'm hoping it doesn't go anywhere.
I think you're great.
Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot. There is a few parts of the menu that I like to kind of keep open, to keep my chefs have some chefy interest that they can change and we can have fun with. For something like this place, you can't take off the cheeseburger, you can't take off the chicken, You can't take off fried chicken. There's so many things that are locked in. So fried chicken, we started this process before we opened for like 6 months, and we went back to being chefy. We tried every single possible way to cook chicken to see how it would be better. 2 weeks out from like our final tasting, and I'm like, throw it all away, we're starting over.
Best way to do it.
Yeah, start over, and we went back to classic, and classic with the technique involved, just preparing a well-seasoned classic fried chicken.
Because you see the wet brine, you see the circulated.
It's so complicated, and the complication loses its soul. We went back to the basics. We brine the chicken for a day. We dry the chicken for a day, which is, I think, a step that was the key to the success. That was the key. Then it goes back into buttermilk before we bread it and fry it. And then it's just about making a great seasoning and going from there. And then I think what sets La Lucha apart a little bit is that we serve all these sauces. We wanted the sweet chili one, which is our honey sambal. We wanted something herbaceous, which is we call a green harissa, a little spicy, mostly herby. And then we kind of went really off kilter.
Well, it looks like just a big old scoop of mayonnaise, which I'm all right with too, but that's not it.
So we went really off kilter we're like, okay, well, again, back to that, it says oysters and fried chicken on the wall. We should somehow incorporate oysters in there. So we turned to smoked oyster mayonnaise, which is probably by far my favorite. And it's incredible, right? You can put that on anything. I mean, and then it's about the biscuits. And the biscuits are, I think, some of the best in the city. And then this is peach preserves or peach jam.
I love the fried chicken, but I love the biscuits too.
Yeah, me too. It goes back to your people, right? Take good care of your people, they stay with you, and your consistency stays with you. Because they're the same person making the biscuits and the jam every single time.
It matters.
It matters.
I mean, you just look at this. It's full bird. You don't have to think about like what piece are you.
What piece are you though?
Me? Wing.
Wing? I think I'm a leg guy.
Yeah. Green harissa and the
Try
Worcester
this.
mayonnaise. All right.
Well, that, and you can keep them separate or together. Cheers.
Cheers. That's such a good bite.
I'll tell you a little secret. I wasn't really a fried chicken person until we opened this restaurant. And then we started tasting and tasting and tasting. I'm like, I'm crushing fried chicken now. Yeah. It's good for the soul.
That's why like fried chicken is love. So, because that takes a lot to do. This is a restaurant where you can come in and really choose your path.
You know, you can go with a group of people and get a couple fried chickens for the table.
Yep.
Have one bite if you want, or one little leg or something, and then also crush a cheeseburger, or get what you want on top of that, you know? Or get a piece of fish. I mean, we sell tons and tons of fish here. It starts with oysters and finishes with chicken.
This is perfect.
Yeah, thank you. It's a labor of love, but you know, we wouldn't do it any other way because there's no point in doing it halfway, right?
No. We're going to have to clear this away, as much as I hate that. Because I think we have to have that conversation about a pharmacy burger.
It's coming. It's on the way. I'm gonna cut this burger, but I always tell our waiters, I'm like, hey, every time they want it, ask for it split or whatever. Let's let them do it at the table, or you guys do it at the table, because there's something about leaving that burger wrapped for a certain amount of time.
Totally agree.
Inside the paper.
Totally agree. Because after 5 or 10 minutes, that's when it is perfect. And it's got everything.
It's got everything, but it's everything but simple, like a smash burger with American cheese. I mean, what sets it apart that we do here different is the pickles, I think.
It's a good pickle.
But there's mustard, shredded lettuce, onions, tomato, and pickle.
Perfect.
There's no secrets to it. You know,
So wait, you grind brisket?
Yep, all brisket. Take a little bit of the fat off, well, fair amount of the fat off,
Yeah.
and then we replace that fat with butter. So the butter acts as your caramelizing agent on the flat top. So when the butter melts out, it gives you a nice lacy crust. Just a good simple burger, I think.
That's not really simple.
It's pretty simple.
In theory,
Fairly simple.
The products are all simple, but execution of it generally, because not everybody can do that. If we live 36 steps from here, you guys would be like, you guys need to go home now.
Never.
So what to order at La Lucha? Get you that spicy margarita to start with some oysters, the shrimp and pork dumplings. Then move into that fried chicken with the biscuits, the jam, all the sauces. Get you a crispy shrimp taco if you want. Pharmacy burger, one of those fantastic burgers in this city.
Thank you so much for today.
Thanks for being here.
Really.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I think that when you start talking about, Texas cuisine too, you've done such a great job with all of the highlights, right? Really hitting those things. But would you get that smoke on those fries?
Yeah.
You got fried chicken, you got oysters, really showing our waters. Yeah. It's a special restaurant. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
See you over here.
Now, let's head over to the OG Barbecue Inn.
All right, you cannot mention fried chicken in this city without talking about the Majestic BBQ Inn. It's been here since 1946. I've been coming here almost 30 years. Ever since I moved to Houston, this has been on the list. So, super happy to do this today. I know it's called Barbecue Inn. You can get the ribs as an app. They're really delicious. Shrimp cocktail, perfect. But then you get that salad, Thousand Island dressing, fried chicken. Perfect. It's really perfect. It's about as classic can be in this city. Nationally famous. Should be world famous. But the thing about this dish, it's the fried chicken, but also like the fried shrimp, the fried oysters, the stuffed crabs, like all of that is so fantastic. Old school, amazing, hasn't changed. 60 years. It's awesome. All right, doesn't get much better than this. Like shrimp cocktail, I love the cocktail sauce on the lettuce, chopped up iceberg. There's a place for it. A little fancy kale on the side. I'm good. And then this has always been one of my favorite salads. Just iceberg, cold tomatoes, traditionally I don't like my tomatoes cold here. I'm good with it because then I get this delicious homemade Thousand Island dressing. And then look at these things. I haven't ever had these, but there's something about like double crab stuffing. I mean, this and a jalapeno were just like this. I'm happy. And then onion rings. She just said we needed to try them. So you're not wrong. That's a solid onion ring. Really light. Look. It's just that crisp. You got thigh. Got that breast. That is so hot, so crispy, so moist. Man, there's the beauty of this, as it does say on the menu. It's going to take 25 to 30 minutes to order or to make. I've been coming here 30 years. This is why I don't eat chicken sandwiches through drive-thrus, because fried chicken should be special. This is special. This is perfection. I don't understand it. How is it this good? Been making it since '46. That's how. Barbecue Inn, truly special place in Houston. This is what you need. Night and day when you say fried chicken. Fries are really good too. I don't say that too often. Well, one thing about Barbecue Inn is they've always had this pie afterwards, right? My Didi's Pie Shop, I believe one of the best pie makers, hands down, that I've ever had. It says classic Houston to me. That meringue, where you get the chocolate, the lemon, coconut, whatever pies they make, whatever My Didi's is bringing over, it's worth it. That's so good.
Other places for fried chicken, Gatlin's open up Fin and Feathers. Their fried chicken is fantastic. And then, I know it's not local, but it deserves its recognition because it's so good. Gus's Fried Chicken, you'll be a happy person. And then A La Seal down on Richmond, absolutely great.
Fried chicken. It should be a special thing, right? I don't think it's an everyday food. There's people that can get the classics done correctly quickly, right? Look at Frenchy's. Then you can go sit down and have a newer version of it, the Lucha with the biscuits and everything. But then you always got to come back to like the classics. Since 1946, Barbecue Inn, that fried chicken is absolutely perfection. I don't see that going through a drive-thru getting a sandwich. It's just not for me, man. What's next? Get out of here.
I'm getting out of here.
That's not you.